Front Page Dramas. The roar of the presses. Every week these giant presses roll and keep rolling at tremendous speed. 15,000 an hour until every last one of the 7 million copies of the American Weekly has gone through in full color. Great fiction, interesting features, factual articles, color illustrations. All of these are to be found in every issue of the American Weekly, which comes to you every week with your Hearst Sunday newspaper. This week's front page drama, The White Rajah, is a dramatization of the early history of the Brooks family, who for 3 generations have been the rulers of Sarawak, with the distinction of being the only white Rajahs in the world. The highly adventurous, romantic, and colorful history of this family is now being told by one of its members, Her Highness the Rani of Sarawak, wife of the 3rd Rajah. Her Highness's story begins in next Sunday's American Weekly. Our part of the story deals with the founding of this white dynasty by the first Sir James Brooks, soldier, explorer, and adventurer. At the age of 21, young James Brooks was a junior officer in the British Army, and his regiment was serving in the Burma War.
Colonel Simpson, sir. Our evidence report that a strong force of the enemy have broken through on our left flank and cut off Dick Company. Unless immediate reinforcements are rushed to that sector, our men will be annihilated.
Very well, Major Buchanan. Take the first 2 companies of the King's Own Scottish Borderers. Move at once to relieve the pressure on the left flank.
Yes, sir, at once. Captain Watkins, Honored A and B companies to foreign. Foreign! Companies at change! Left! Extended order to the left! Forward! Charge!
Have all your men accounted for, Major Buchanan?
Yes, sir. All but one. Lieutenant James Brooks, sir. He took over command of the left flank when the senior officers fell, put up a great scrap and a splendid defense. We fear he may have been badly wounded and perhaps carried off by the enemy, sir.
Order a strong searching party to go out at once and search for young Brooks. If the body's not found, call for reinforcements and proceed against the remnants of the enemy until Brooks is found.
Very good, sir. Sergeant Major, detail a party of 2 platoons at once. Be sure to have a medical detail. Yes, sir. This way, man. I found him. Pass the word along. Send for the MO and check the bearers on the double. Good work, Sergeant Major. How is it? He's pretty nigh finished, I'm sorry to say, sir. His heart's beaten, but that's about all. Badly cut up, sir. Yeah, let's have a look at him. Oh. Too far gone to be able to save. Oh, by Jove, those blasted people certainly did cut the poor chap up. Yes. He must have carried him along with him until they thought he was dead and then dropped him here.
All right. Hurry up, you. Come on.
Over here, Doctor.
The war, not a Sunday afternoon promenade.
Over here, Doctor. Hurry. There isn't a moment to lose.
All right, Buchanan, here I am. Let's have a look at him. Good heavens, what a ghastly mess. I'll clean the wounds and stop the blood as best I can here. But I'm afraid he's too far gone, Major. All right, Sergeant Hawkins, Corporal Peters, give me a hand here.
All right, sir.
Easy. This is a damnable delicate job.
Well, so here you are, Brooks. Sitting up as bright and chipper as a belly sparrow. Splendid. Splendid, old chap.
Thank you, Colonel Simpson. Awfully nice, of
course. Oh, nonsense, my lad. You jolly well deserve all the honor. You put up a gallant fight. For months you've hovered between life and death. With that spirit which is always England burned dauntlessly within you and pulled you through.
Yes, sir. Right. Keep that raw and nasty time. It's touching there for months. So death was pulled through. I hear the ribbon's been ordered home.
Yes, my lad. We embark the day after tomorrow. That's why I had to call. The doctors tell me that you'll be laid up here for a while yet. Impossible to travel in your weakened condition.
You talked to the doctors, Colonel?
Why, yes, precisely.
And you know, of course, the truth.
Why, that is, yes, my boy. It's ghastly, horrible. The rottenest kind of luck. My deepest sympathy, my boy.
Thank you, sir. So, perhaps after all, it's just as well I'm staying on here for a bit. That's really, I return to England and denied a woman's affection, wife, children, home, all that.
You're a brave man, Brooke.
So, as soon as I'm fit again, I'll plunge into a life of adventure out there in the Orient.
Splendid idea, my boy. Splendid. Build up an empire here. Splendid. Capital idea.
Yes, isn't it? But what about Marjorie, sir? You see, you're engaged. She will have to know.
I'll be visiting your father upon my return to England, Brooke, and I can impart the news to him. He can probably find a diplomatic way to get the news to Marjorie's parents, who, in turn, can inform her.
Yes. Yes. Perhaps that would be the best way.
Well, James, I must say, this is a surprise.
And you're really glad to see me again, Margaret.
Well, naturally, I'm glad to see you, James. But it is something of a shock. Everyone said you had given up the idea of returning to England. You're devoting your life to adventure in the Orient.
I hadn't intended to. As a matter of fact, I made a trip aboard my armed schooner, Royalist to Borneo. It's a great country, an untamed land, overflowing with wealth. People by a strange race of barbarous people who could be led and taught. Place humanity in their hearts and, well, I don't suppose I was quite ready for it all.
Sir?
So, I came back to England to, well, see if you were married. If not, well, perhaps you still held a love and affection for me.
Oh, please, James. That is all in the past. Forgotten. Do not let us revive it.
There's a future of adventure and glory awaiting us together, Margaret.
No, thank you, James. Please understand there can be no future for us together. You return to your life of adventure and glory in the Orient. I will stay here and enjoy the normal life of a home in England.
Then, it is yes.
Yes, James. Please go now. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Margaret.
Gentlemen, there it is, Borneo. This is the land that I shall rule. We're approaching the mouth of the river. Now, there's a terrible rebellion seizing all through this country. They're coming here to help put it down. So before we enter the river and be swarmed over by pirates, I suggest you get your crews, man your stations, and look to your powder and shot. Aye, sir. All right, sir. Start heading out into the river ahead, sir. Righto. Stand to, men. Have your muskets cocked and the cannon loaded, ready for action. Come up forward with me, Jenkins. We'll see what this craft is. There she is, sir. On the port side. Quite a fancy-looking rig she is, too. Blast me if it don't look like a royal board. Yes, you may be right, Jenkins. Certainly doesn't look like a Malay or Dayak pirate craft that I've ever seen. See? It's as though they were going to hit us. Why, they're breaking out a white flag, sir. Looks like they want to surrender without putting up a fight. If they are rebels, the pirates... Well, they might not be. I won't take any chances. Have your crew haul in all canvas, weigh anchor at once. Aye, sir. Oh, blighter! Wilkins! Start one of your small guns and cover that craft coming up alongside. Ready to fire if they try on a trip. Aye, sir. Thomas, Tom, bring up 6 of your best riflemen with rifles loaded, ready to repel them if they attempt to board us forcibly. Aye, sir. All ready, men, now. They're almost alongside. Ahoy! Who are you? What do you want? Don't try any tricks or we'll blow you out of the water.
Sir, that handsome gent with the heavy gold coat and trousers appears to be signaling he wants to come aboard, sir.
All right. Throw over the red ladder. See what happens. Hey! Keep your musket trained, men. All right. He's coming aboard right enough. Appears to be bringing up another chap with him, too. Apparently some personage of high rank. Yeah. Welcome aboard the Royalist. I am Said Brooke of Burma.
We are honored by your presence here, gallant Said. Much we have heard of your great bravery. This is His Serene Highness Muda Hasim, Prince of all the Malays. I am his lowly chamberlain and interpreter.
We are honored by the presence of His Serene Highness. What brings you out to meet us?
You have no doubt heard, Said, of the great unrest, war, rebellion, and much bloodshed which has befallen this part of our land.
Yes, that is why we are here.
Still, His Highness, we hope to be able to render him assistance in putting down this rebellion. His Serene Highness is deeply grateful and highly honored by your generous offer in his hour of need, and wishes me to tell you, if you will rid this land of these Dayak and Malay pirates, put down this rebellion and restore peace, he will make you a most generous offer. My thanks, His Highness, and tell him I should like to hear his offer. His Highness tells me to say, if only you will remain, he will give this, the country of Sarawak, all its government and trade. All these things you can have, you and your generations after you, if only you will help him now in this, his hour of need. Inform His Serene Highness, I accept. He shall be under my protection from this moment forth. We shall proceed against the rebels at once.
All men at the station, sir. Everything is ready.
Very good, Jenkins. Instruct everyone to hold their fire until we're up close and wait for my command to fire.
Aye, aye, sir.
Watch your sides and repel any attempts to board us.
We're all ready, sir.
Very well, Jenkins. Now is the time for action. Forward, run! Ready! Aim! Fire! Well, Jenkins, our first big job is just about finished.
Aye, aye, sir. It's not been an easy one. But with bullets and cold steel, we put down one of the biggest rebellions in the East.
Now the real work is ahead of us. Education. Teaching them a new and better way of life.
Oh, say! Do you hear that, sir? They surrendered. The war was over. Allow me, sir, to congratulate you, the first white Rajah of Sarawak.
100 years ago, on September 24th, 1841, James Brooke became the Rajah of Sarawak. In time, he became very friendly with his happy brown-skinned people. He entertained them with card tricks and feats of great strength. They returned his entertainment with their graceful, beautiful ceremonial dances. He moved among them and won their love and respect. Don't miss reading the opening installments of the life of James Brooke, the first, and the lives of his successors as told in the fascinating, colorful, and dramatic series, The Romances of the Three White Rajahs, by Her Highness, the Rani of Sarawak, wife of the present Rajah. This most interesting series begins in next Sunday's American Weekly, the magazine with the greatest circulation in the world that comes to you each week with your Hearst Sunday newspaper. Front page dramas. The roar of the presses. Every week these giant presses roll and keep rolling at tremendous speed. 15,000 an hour until every last one of the 7 million copies of the American Weekly has gone through in full color. Great fiction, interesting features, factual articles, color illustrations. All these are to be found in every issue of the American Weekly, which comes to you each week with your Hearst Sunday newspaper. This week's front page drama, Love in Death United, is a dramatization of incidents in Chapter 2 of the inside story of the Three White Rajahs by Her Highness the Rani of Sarawak. This is the romantic history of the Brooke family, who for 3 generations have ruled Sarawak as the world's only White Rajahs. During their reign, the